Hi everyone, I'm Jackie and welcome to my channel, Cherished Memories Crochet. Today I'm going to show you one of my latest granny squares. This one I call my cable granny square. It is made up of V-stitches, triple double crochet front post stitches, single crochets, and half double crochets. And this one I made in a two-tone, and it really pops out the stitches. And I did this one, the same pattern in a solid color. And they just look totally different. And I did this one in a yellow, and instead of ending the square in the cable row, you're going to have a cable row and a V-stitch row. I ended this one in a V-stitch row, where the other two are the cable rows. And it's a really fun stitch to make. So we'll go ahead and get started. You can make them as big or as small as you'd like. It's just going to be a repeat row of row 3 and 4 until you get it the size you want. So go ahead and make a slip stitch and chain 4. And now we're going to slip stitch into that first chain. Just like that. Now we're going to chain 3. This acts as our first double crochet. And we're going to go right back in there, right in the middle, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. So now we have a total of 4 double crochets because that chain 3 counts as our first. So counting that, we have 4 double crochets, and now we're going to chain 2, and you're going to do 4 sets of this. You're going to do 4 double crochets and a chain 2, and I'll meet you here at the end when I have all 4 of my sets. Okay, I've got all 4 sets of my 4 double crochets in a row and a chain 2. So now we're going to slip stitch into that chain 3 we did at the first of the granny square, just like that. So now we are going to jump over to this next double crochet and do a slip stitch. And now that brings us to the middle of our set of 4 double crochets. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to go in between the second and the third double crochet. And don't go in the loop, go underneath the loop. And we're going to do a slip stitch, just like that. Now we're going to do a chain of 3 that acts as our first double crochet. We're going to do a V-stitch here. So that's our first double crochet. Now we're going to do a chain 1, and that will act as our chain 1. We're going to go right back in that same space and do another double crochet. So now you've got a V-stitch. Now we're going to jump over to the corner here, and we're going to do another V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet. Just like that. Now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to go right back in that same corner and do another V-stitch. So we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet. So this is what you should have so far. We have that V-stitch there in the middle, and we've got a V-stitch, chain 2, and a V-stitch here in this corner. So now we're going to jump over between the second and the third double crochet, and we're going to do a V-stitch. So we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet. Just like that. And you're going to follow the same pattern all the way around. We're in our next corner, so we're going to do a V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet. And we're going to chain 2, and go right back in that same corner and do another V-stitch. Double crochet, chain 1, and another double double crochet. Follow that pattern all the way around. In your corners, you're going to have 2 V-stitches, chain 2, well, 1 V-stitch, chain 2, and another V-stitch. In the middle of your second and third double crochet from this previous row, you're going to have a V-stitch. And then a V-stitch, chain 2, and a V-stitch in each corner, and follow that pattern all the way around, and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I'm at the end of my row. This is the end of row 2. So I just did my last corner here. And now here where we did the chain 3 plus 1 chain, we're going to go in the third one, 1, 2, 3, and do a slip stitch. So this is what your square should look like so far. So now we're going to start row 3. We're going to chain 1. And now we're going to do a front post triple double crochet. For those that don't know how to do it, I'll go slow. We're going to work on this chain 3 that we did in the previous row. You're going to yarn over 2 times. And now what you're going to do is we're not going to go in the top of that double crochet. We're going to go behind it, just like that. And this is a front post double, or a front post triple double crochet. So yarn over twice. You're going to go behind that, just like that. And now what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull it through behind there, just like that. Now we have 4 loops on our hook. You're going to yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2, yarn over, and go through the last 2. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a single crochet right in the middle of this V-stitch from the previous row. We just did our cable on the right side of the V-stitch from the previous row. So now we're going to do a single crochet. And now on this side of the V-stitch, we're going to do another triple double crochet front post stitch. So that's yarn over twice, insert your hook behind that double crochet there, yarn over, go through the back like that, pull up a loop. So now you've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2, yarn over, and go through the last 2. So there you have your cable, your single crochet, and your cable here. So now we're going to jump over to this next V-stitch. You're going to yarn over twice, insert your hook, and go behind it, just like that. You can see better like that. Now we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2, and the last 2. So now in the middle of that V-stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. And now we're going to do another front post triple double crochet. Yarn over twice. And now we're going to go into this side of the V-stitch. Go behind the double crochet. Yarn over. Pull up a loop. Yarn over. Go through the first 2. Yarn over, go through the second 2, yarn over, and go through the last 2. And this stitch might take some practice, but once you catch on to it, it's really easy. So now we made it to our first corner, and what we're going to do here is we're going to do 1 half double, just like that, and I'll chain 2. And then we're going to go back in that corner and do another half double. And that makes our corner. We're just going to put 1 half double, chain 2, and a half double in each corner. And on top of these V-stitches, you're going to do your cable, your single crochet, and your cable, and continue all the way across. And here in the next corner, you're going to do a half double crochet, chain 2, and another half double crochet. And just continue that pattern until you meet me here in the middle of this row. Okay, I'm at the end of row 3. So now what you're going to do is, here's that chain 1 we did at the beginning of row 3. You're going to skip over that, and you're going to do a slip stitch on top of that cable there, that front post stitch, just like that. Now we're going to slip stitch over to this single crochet. Here's our first, right here's the previous rows. This is row 2, the V-stitch, and then we did the cable stitch on this side of the V-stitch, a single crochet, and then another cable on top of that V-stitch. We're going to jump over here and slip stitch into that single crochet we did. Just like that. Now we're going to chain 3. That's our first double crochet. We're going to chain an extra chain for our chain 1 because we're going to do a V-stitch right there. Now we're going to go right back in that same spot and do another double crochet. So now we have a V-stitch there. So now we're going to jump over to our next set. See, that was our first set, our cable, our single crochet, our cable. So we made a V-stitch right there on top of that single crochet. We're going to jump over here to our next set. There's our cable, our single crochet, and our cable. We're going to do a V-stitch right in that single crochet, double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet. And there's your V-stitch. So now you have 2. So now what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to this, our first corner. So we're going to finish this row out, excuse me, when we come back around. But now we're at our first corner. So we're going to do double crochet, chain 1, another double crochet. That makes a V-stitch. So we have our first V-stitch in our corner. Now you're going to chain 2. And you're going to go right back in that corner and make another V-stitch, which is double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet. So now you've got one V-stitch, chain 2, and another V-stitch in that corner. So now we're going to jump over. Here's our cable, single crochet in our cable. That's our first set. We're going to do a V-stitch in that single crochet, double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet. So there's our V-stitch. And you're going to go ahead and jump over to the next single crochet and do a V-stitch. And you're going to do this all the way to the corners. I'll go ahead and go to the corner with you. Oops. So you're going to jump over between these next 2 cables, and there's your single crochet. Oh, no, I didn't go over far enough. Okay, here's the last V-stitch we did. And here's both cables on each side of the single crochet. So you're going to jump over here, and there's your first cable, your single crochet, and your second cable. You're going to do a V-stitch in that single crochet. And now you're at your second corner. So you're going to do your V-stitch. Chain 2, and another V-stitch. And just continue this same pattern all the way around. And I'll meet you here in the middle of this row here. Okay, I'm at the end of row 4. So I'm going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain, 1, 2, 3. Just like that. So what, I'm sorry, what you're going to do is you're going to continue to do a repeat of rows 3 and 4 until you get your granny square as large as you want. I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows in the pink and purple. And like I said, you can end it either in a cable row or a V-stitch row. And I'll go ahead and start row 4 with you, or row 5 with you. So Now it's time for the cable row. You're going to chain 1, yarn over twice because we're going to make our cable. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, second 2, and the last 2. Now you're going to do your single crochet, and you're going to do your next front post cable. You're going to yarn over twice, insert your hook behind, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, second 2, and your last 2. And that's all there is to it. Like I said before, you might have to practice to learn how to do the front post triple double crochet cable stitch, but it's really fun when you get the knack of it. And I want to thank you for joining me today. And if you enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. And hopefully I'll see you there. Bye-bye.